In this demo, I'm going to show how a mobile device can be used when connected to Citrix XenApp to perform a number of different types of tasks. As always, tasks are usually initiated by getting an email. You read the email and your bosses ask you to do a number of different things. In this case, I'm going to be going through actually modifying a Word document, then loading up File Explorer to show how easily you can access different documents within the secure data center. And I'll load up a Microsoft Excel document, make some modifications to it, save it back to the data center. I'm actually going to bring up an AutoCAD design and verify that the AutoCAD design has been updated with the newest specifications. And the last task that will be performed is to actually connect to a GoToMeeting and attend an online meeting through Citrix GoToMeeting. So let's get started. First thing I need to do is open up web interface from the local browser on my phone. As you can see, the web interface being used is the same web interface UI that you get from your laptop or your desktop. So now I have my list of applications in web interface, and I'll select Microsoft Word. The ICA client will go through the normal connection sequence just like it does from a desktop or a laptop. You note that my credentials get passed through from web interface, so I don't have to authenticate again. Network connections are being restored. Again, this is running over a Wireless Wan connection, and Microsoft Word is up. At this point, I can do the normal file open, and you'll see I have a list of all the documents that I have to get access to. I can also go in and change which directory I'm looking at. I'm going to change the view to web layout. Web layout on a smaller screen like this does a nice job of formatting Word documents. As you can see, everything's aligned nicely. So Chris has asked me to go down to the research technicians and update the price of our research technician consultants from 60 to 65. So I'm going to do that change. So I've done the change. None of the data has been sent down to my device. I can do a file save and actually save the updated document right back into the file share in the data center and not have to worry about having residual data left out on my actual device. So I've saved it out. Now what I'm going to do is go out and show you a different method of launching applications and or files. In a lot of cases, I'd rather launch the actual file that I'm going after rather than the application. So in this case, I'm actually going to launch my documents, which is File Explorer published on XenApp. So File Explorer is coming up. Once again, my credentials are being passed through because I'm already logged into the web interface. Restoring the Wireless Wan connection, mapping the drives, and File Explorer is up. One of the reasons I like this is you can see I have a full list of all of my apps and I can easily navigate to other shares. The other reason I like this method is you see how quickly you can subsequently start up other applications by clicking on the actual file itself and letting file type extension open up that the associated application, and it simply runs within the same session that's already been established, and you can save some of the time of starting a new connection. You can also see the response of scrolling up and down the the spreadsheet, very responsive over a EVDO or 3G type of connection. I can easily scroll over to the field that needs to be updated, update the new number, and once again I was able to easily open up an application, update the data associated with the upcoming meeting, and save the document back to the secure data center. No residual data again saved on the actual device itself. The last task my boss asked me to do is actually go in and make sure that a design document has been updated. As you can see, the design document is over 6 megabytes, not normally something I want to synchronize down to the local device. So using this method, I can actually access a very large document, in this case an AutoCAD three-dimensional design document, simply by clicking on the file name of the design document. You see it through file type extension or file type association. It loads up the associated application, and we now have a 3D design rendering showing up on the mobile device through XenApp and ICA. I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to go to one of the menu options to actually orbit, so I can rotate the three-dimensional design around to the area that I need to check to make sure the current component has been updated on the design document. You can see, using some of our new speed screen technology, it rotates pretty well. Again, this is over a wireless WAN connection. This is a full three-dimensional design document. Now I need to go in and zoom in to the area that I'm interested in. I'm going to recenter the design document into the area that I want to look for. It's one of these transistors right down in this area here. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, clear down to the point where I can read the silk screening on the actual transistor itself. You can see I over-zoomed a little bit there, so I'll back it back off. I zoom by simply moving the cursor up and down on the screen. Recenter on the black transistor, which is the one I want to check. Select the zoom. Scroll in. As you can see, I can easily see the actual silk screening down at this level of detail on a design document. For this case, it's been updated. Everything looks okay. I can exit the program, back into File Explorer. And at this point, I've done the first 3 tasks that my boss asked me to do in the email that I was showing earlier. So it's time to join the GoToMeeting. Clicked on the GoToMeeting icon at this point, and like a lot of applications, even Citrix currently does not have a native mobile version of GoToMeeting that can run natively on the small form factor device. So what I've done in this case is I've actually published Internet Explorer on the XenApp server and used command line parameters to tell Internet Explorer that when it launches, to automatically redirect itself not to the home page but to GoToMeeting. So GoToMeeting's coming up. At this point, I can use the scroll bars, which are always visible in this mode, of Internet Explorer to scroll down to the Join Meeting. Click the Join Meeting. Now I'm going to scroll back up and actually minimize within this session the Internet Explorer. So now that it's minimized, I can get a fuller screen environment for the GoToMeeting application, which is being launched. Enter in the meeting ID. Pull the window up a little bit. Click the OK button. And I'm connecting into a GoToMeeting. In this case, I've already got a GoToMeeting started on one of my other machines that I'll be joining. So the GoToMeeting user interface comes up. Click on it to put it in a full screen mode, and now I'm going to actually use the zoom capability of the ICA client to get the best fit that I can for this PowerPoint slide that's being presented. Now I'm going to go over to my other machine and actually drive through the slides of this demo presentation. As you can see, some normal text is going to be a bit difficult to read on these types of devices, but I can follow along with what's going on. On the device that I'm using right here, I've actually used twice myself in this mode and was able to actually listen to the conference call associated with the GoToMeeting and follow along with the slides at the same time. So as you can see, again, an example of an application that natively doesn't work on the mobile device, but using XenApp to overcome those capabilities by running the full Windows 32 application on the actual device itself. At this point, I've basically ran through the 4 tasks that my boss asked me to do, and I can log off. Never had to pull out my laptop.